So let's say that you've created a lot of content, you're omnipresent now. What do you do with all that attention? How do you, should you have some lead magnets to capture it? Should you bring them to your website, the landing page? Should you do something integrated within the platform? What do you do basically once you're omnipresent?
Well, when you're omnipresent, you can enjoy. No, you should have lead magnets. You should always bring people to your website whenever possible, if they're willing to go. People statistically don't like leaving the platform that they're on. And so again, I'm going to talk about analytics. And you got to understand that I'm not a numbers guy. I just know that if we have the information, I'd be stupid not to look at it. I can look at the bounce rate, right? From LinkedIn, from Facebook. If I have a super high bounce rate, that means people aren't wanting to come to my website, or at least they don't like what they see when they get there. And so I want to keep them on that platform. And I operate by a 90-10 rule, which is 90% of your content has to be value driven and not about you, the business owner. And then 10% can be promotional. And during that 10%, you can give an ask, right? If I'm trying to get people to be on my show, maybe what I'll talk about is I'll keep talking about the value and the content, just like you're doing, Matt. And then 10% of the time, I will address one of their problems, right? What is the real problem that they're trying to solve? More emotionally than just the practical problem. But really, let's just say it's trying to get people on my show. Maybe I might say, look, nobody knows about you. It's time for you to step up and be heard. And then I would say, if you would like 10 tips on how to be interviewed by Matt, come here. Something like that. Obviously, I'm making it up on the fly. It's a horrible example, but you get the idea. Right. You want to be omnipresent, keep producing content that's valuable. And people are human nature, right? So, as you and I have gotten to know each other over time, and we started off with a B2B type relationship, a business to business, I look at your Facebook feed and I know kind of what you're doing. You just said you just saw me out with my family, right? So that's where it really can translate into business too. And you and I have done business in the past, and we're going to do a lot of business in the future. But what I've been up to this weekend, and I've watched your Facebook feed and everything else. And so that just spins, right? You get into that know, like, trust factor. I think too often as business owners, we go straight to tactics. What's the tactic? What's the tactic? And I think we forget at the end of the day, how do we like to buy? How do we like to be treated as people? You don't just go into a restaurant or a car dealership or wherever and just go right towards the tactics. You go in, you want to feel good about the whole situation, and you go back to the same places, right? We shop at the same places. We do business with the same people. We don't just switch based on just price or, just a comparison chart. We do business with people we know, then we like them. And if we trust them, we continue to do business with them long terms. And that's where this authority creator really comes in handy, because you could create authority in a marketplace. People trust you. They trust what you're saying. And then if you believe in your product, which you should, and if you don't, get out of business now, or at least switch, then you can start recommending your products and services to them.